I'm a prior military individual, and I was involved in the first strike in OEF and OIF. Here's what bothers me. There was a report that I witnessed on the television earlier where a woman was escorted from the venue 45 minutes prior to the shooting because she was telling people they were all going to die. So my question is, why didn't the venue react? 45 minutes is long enough to get people out of that venue. And that didn't happen.
And then somebody said something to you to tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so there was a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row, and she started messing with another lady and told us that we were all going to die tonight.
Do you know why she was saying that? I mean, was this after the shots were fired, or?
It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired, but then she was escorted out by security.
So we were at the venue, and shots started ringing out, and we were thinking they were fireworks, and then I recognized the automatic, the repetition of automatic fire. People started running from the main stage out of the venue.
And you think they're little tiny bodies, and you saw people scurrying and running. And there's the stage, a whole mass of bodies just on the ground. And then people, not a lot, but it was not a full concert. It was not 22,000 people anymore. A mass of bodies and just people running.
It's not shots, be white. Like multiple people. Where?
A lot of people scared. A lot of people scared.
Go to the hotel. All right.
I'm trying to get Kevin out of here.
Shot.
Can we put him in your car? Yeah, let's bring him here. Okay, I'll take him to the hospital.
I got multiple gunshots right here.
Okay, let's get him in the truck. I'll take him to the hospital. What's that?
Wait. Does he have a ride?
Well, I'm just in my truck, so. Bring the guy in the chair with the chest.
And one there.
Right here, come in here. Come in on this side, right here. You see those ambulances over here.
With the shooter 500 yards away, they would hear the rounds snapping by their heads or snapping through the air, hitting the ground before they heard the report of the rifles. But in this case, the shooter firing so many rounds, it'd be relatively easy to at least know the general direction of where the fire was coming from.
dash camera rolling, it's just after 10 o'clock, and retired cop Philip Riddle was just trying to pick up his friend at the airport when he came across a gruesome scene.
I see people limping across the street, people carrying people across the street.
A second later, his dash camera capturing a man carried in a wheelbarrow. He was loaded into Philip's front seat. He had been shot twice.
I'm dying. I'm at Sunrise Hospital.
Hang tight, bud. We're gonna get you there.
We started hearing something that we thought was at first fireworks, but then it was more and more a rapid succession. Once the crowd got quiet, we started noticing that it was actually gunshots, and it was just multiple gunshots. People were hitting the floor, people were running. Myself and a few of my other partners, we were trying to help people keep low instead of standing up while the firing was going on. The shooter was coming from the Mandalay Bay on the 20th floor.
Okay.
They said that cops seen where the actual spectrum light was shining from where whoever was shooting, and then he said it was another shooter that had made his way over to the Tropicana parking lot. Somehow he made it inside the building. Correction, I'm not special forces. I was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, sorry.
But
and it sounded like fireworks, and then all of a sudden everybody started scattering and gunfire, and people were running everywhere, and
it was chaos.
Complete chaos.
I worked in the trauma tent for a little while. It was crazy. It was chaos.
You all right?
It's just nothing I ever wanted to see.
Can I ask you what you saw? I mean, obviously you
Watching the concert.
You watching the?
What more do you want? I was watching the concert.
Right. How bad was it?
Terrible. I can't. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's right. So he's wearing his badge. He's a police officer from nearby, not from Vegas. Jason Aldean was performing. Tell me what you heard and how it all started.
It just started popping. It sounded like firecrackers.
And
everybody
then,
ran.
At one point, then as soon as
you just started seeing bloody people running towards you.
People need to start moving until Aldean got off the stage. As soon as he started running is when everyone else started booking
So
it.
Jason ran off the stage, and then people started running themselves.
And then we calmed them down. We were just getting people out. We were just getting people out.
Yeah, we just did.
That's all we're doing.
Were you carrying people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both were.
It was mass chaos. You couldn't tell the difference between people that knew what was going on and people that were adding more confusion. We thought it was fireworks, and then it just didn't stop. And I'm like, Debbie, that's not fireworks. And then people started running, and we asked what was going on, and they said it was a shooter, and then we realized it sounded like machine guns. It sounded like more than one machine gun, and it just didn't stop, like 30 minutes.
And apparently it just occurred right behind our booth, basically. So it was very loud. We thought it was fireworks or something, which we thought was weird because we didn't see anything in the sky. It went on for quite a while. And then the screaming started and the running. And
yeah, Robert Hayes with LA Fire, and you were here with your wife at the concert.
Yeah, my wife and a couple friends for a birthday event. And then all of a sudden we heard some pops when Jason Aldean came on to perform. And honestly, at the start, we all thought that it was probably like an electronic thing, a malfunction or stuff. Feedback or whatnot, and everybody was kind of, I'm like, hey, it's okay, everybody's all right. And then all of a sudden, people started dropping by the stage area and up front by us.
Initially, you thought it was fireworks, but then right after the fireworks, they turned the lights on, and about 5 feet from me, you could see a guy with a bullet wound right in his neck, emotionless, and from there on in, it was just, people just started dropping like flies.
They started shooting, and everyone stayed down, and as soon as everyone started to get up to run, they just kept shooting, and it's like literally like 5 minutes of just shooting, and people just kept dropping, and it was definitely someone on the ground. Definitely, most definitely, the way they herded the crowd and all of us, and then they kept coming. They even came into the back staff parking lot and shot people out there too. So they just kept coming, and I hope they get them.
Yeah, I lost my shoe when someone fell down to get cover over me. I have someone's blood right here and also on my chest.
They kept coming. That was the thing. It wasn't that, okay, let's all leave and now it's okay. No. We all started running, and they came in. That's why there's no humanly possible way that guy, that was the only shooter. If you were where we were and how we were hidden and the way they came in and herded us all out into the staff parking lot and then continued shooting into the staff parking lot.
Even loved ones, just piles of blood and leaning over,
People left.
I hope they're okay, but shoes missing is a shoe, but at least I have my life.
Kept happening,
and happening. And there was very short increments where there was breaks in between the shots, but it literally felt like it just continued for 20 minutes straight. And every time there was a break, we ran and we ran. And I still wasn't even sure if it was actually bullets until one of the times we paused, our friend was like, the guy next to us got shot. But we went back because I'm a nurse and I just felt that I had to. So I went to 3 different scenes. The first one was okay. The second one was worse. And by the time I got to the third one, there was just dead bodies. Like, there was like 6, and they were all young people. So there were so many people, just normal citizens, doctors, cops, paramedics, like nurses, just off duty. Everyone was just communicating and working together. You got this person, you got this person, you got this person. It was completely horrible, but it was absolutely amazing to see all the people come together.
Like 10 minutes in, and we heard what we thought were fireworks, and it looked like smoke from Mandalay Bay, and then he kept performing, and then we heard it again, and they cut the music, and everyone said drop, and everyone dropped, and then everyone just got up and they said run, and everyone started stampeding and charging and knocking over grills, jumping over fences.
Thought it was fireworks. I looked up in the sky, didn't see anything. I was worried. They were all crying on the ground. I was trying to be calm. I thought it was fireworks. I looked up. I didn't see anything in the sky, so I got worried. I mean, I was going through a lot. I was like, should I? Why should they die? Because they're a lot younger than me. Because at that point I went from, man, I'm going to die like the Orlando shooting in this room. That's what I first thought. It was like, pick your poison. It's like, what do we do? Do I run straight or do I run into the room?
We're going to hold you over for the commercial break. We're right back.
Kind of sounded like some fireworks going off, and then finally we had to move him because he had 3 chest wounds. But I just got a message my buddy is going to be okay, so I mean,
the guy who got hit 3 times is going to be okay?
Yeah.
It was a lot of chaos. My buddy got shot 3 times. He actually put his finger in the hole. It's a terrible tragedy. I mean, I don't know what other words you can use for it.
It was very horrifying. At first, it sounded like fireworks, and then my buddy that was standing right next to me said, "I'm hit." My buddy got shot 3 times in the chest. He said he was going to be good. It's surreal.
We hear, what we thought was just, fireworks. Well, within seconds or minutes, we realized that something really was happening. People were running, and that noise was. It didn't sound like a gun. There was no gun I'd ever heard that went pop, 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 pop.
Because when this was going on, we did not realize that there was just one shooter. We were told 30 shooters. The Bellagio was under attack. The Flamingo, we thought there was a bomb in the building. And when the SWAT team came into the foundation room with 100 of us there, and they're like, everybody get down, I actually ran out and hid behind a flower pot.
Then we heard what sounded like fireworks, firecrackers going off. And then there's that 3rd round of firecrackers, or fireworks that sounded like. It's unfortunate that it takes times of tragedy like this to watch people come together. Disgusting, beautiful, and tragic all at the same time.
Well, as a professional firefighter with the Kern County Fire Department, it's part of our training to actually be a portion of that. We do have active shooter training within our professional department. We did hear the firecrackers, and it was kind of going to be more of a safety precaution for all of us. Heard the first set of firecrackers, and then after the first set, the second set started going off maybe 10-ish, 15 seconds later, and then...
So I'm in the military, kind of used to those kind of rounds going off and the sound. Once we figured it out, it's called I'm up, you see me down. So they shoot at you, you get down. So we got down, and
we heard a couple of pops that were super isolated and sounded like firecrackers. And we found out later over the police scanner and from some firefighters that we were working with later on in the night that there were some firecrackers that started it all.
Knowing the sound, being around it, training, you got instincts. I'm also a firefighter.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.